Good morning. Some quick thoughts for this morning. I was just thinking about the fact that when I was younger, I was really like a warm-blooded. You know, I had obviously had a healthy metabolism, and I was like warm all the time. And when I first started Carnivore, I lost a lot of weight, you know, in the first 3 to 4 months for me. And I got a little cold, actually. So, I mean, I remember it was last summer, and I would be sitting around, you know, this would be like May or something, and I'd be sitting around, you know, in the apartment and, you know, wearing a sweatshirt and constantly turning the AC back. Now I kind of have the opposite problem. Like, I'm never wearing like hardly anything. I always wear a t-shirt, right? At night, I'm wearing just a t-shirt and shorts, and it's really hot. And, you know, I sleep under just a sheet, and I don't want anything extra, right? So, and then this was like even last winter, you know, after I'd been carnivore for probably 7 to 8 months by that time, I wasn't nearly as cold as I used to be, right? And even then I slept in much less in terms of clothing and things like that than I used to. So I'm definitely, you know, there was something that happened like probably about 4 months for me. It was just like the pilot light got reignited after I went into, you know, I sort of like finished my weight loss mode and went into this mode where I was really focusing on eating more and starting to add muscle and add weight and muscle. That's when like this pilot light just kicked on, and all of a sudden, like, boom, I'm warm like all the time, and even still now warm all the time. So like I said, opposite problem of what I used to have, being cooler all the time. But it just got me thinking, because, you know, when you're fat, when you're obese, you got all this extra weight on, you got all this fat, and it's like insulation, right? So you should be warmer when you're fatter, right? But actually for me, it's the opposite. I am now warmer now that I have a ton less fat on my body. I'm warmer than I used to be, even when I was obese, when I was carrying all that extra weight. And I just thought, how can that be? How can I be so much warmer now, where I'm just like, you know, I'm a normal, average-looking guy now. Well, maybe I'm not average-looking anymore, but because unfortunately the average-looking American is overweight. But, you know, I guess I'm the ideal average looking person, just, you know, average height, average build, and you know, normal weight. And I should be, you know, cooler now, or I should be colder now. And I guarantee you, this winter time, like, I should be freezing all the time, because look, I don't have any body fat, right? I mean, I do have body fat, probably, you know, low double digits, but I should be, you know, all super cold, right? And need all this extra clothing. And I guarantee you that's not going to be the case. So just interesting that, you know, I'm now sort of like the way I was when I was a kid, run hot all the time. To me, that's a sign that my metabolism is healthy, and that our metabolism's given the right nutrients, the right nutrition, we don't have to worry about the cold necessarily. Our body, you know, given the right inputs, will generate the right outputs, and it will keep us warm. So, you know, people are like, I don't know, how did some guy 500,000 years ago survive a winter? This is how, right? This is how. He had access to giant freaking animals full of nothing but red meat on them, and would sit down and eat, you know, 2 to 3 pounds, maybe 4 pounds of meat in a day. Who knows, right? Who knows exactly how much? I can easily eat 2 pounds of meat in a day. Like I said, I'm an average height, average weight guy. Actually, for back then, you know, I'd have been really short, because the average height of, you know, Paleolithic man was taller than me, was taller than most humans now. They were on average taller than modern Homo sapiens, and they are on average had a larger brain size than average to modern Homo sapiens today. So, you know, it just goes to show you that we can't account for, or we often don't account for, the things that the body will do to take care of us. And in this case, like, you know, the body, you know, I'm sure they still had to wear furs and things like that. You know, I'm not saying they ran around without clothes on in the, you know, in the winter, but, you know, given the right nutrition, the need maybe for as much shelter or as much external warmth is reduced, because the body will produce its own internal heat. We do know that there's thermic effect of food and things like that. So anyways, just some thoughts for today. But what are your thoughts? What do you think on this? And what is your experience? Have you experienced, are you warmer than you used to? Or are you colder than you used to? For a period of time, I was colder as a carnivore, right after I lost all the weight. So it was like right at the end of all the weight loss. I was colder for a month or two. And then boom, it just switched gears for me. So tell me your experience in the comments down below. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll catch you tomorrow.